Real talk, real life, real growth.
This is Raw Reality with Tori Story and Fit with Lily. Why am I so excited to record today?
Hi.
This time yesterday, actually no, I'd finished crying.
Oh, okay, so let's just get straight into it and tell me why.
Don't actually know.
Okay.
I mean, I do. I think pregnancy hormones.
This
first
is also
and
just
foremost.
another instance of me going on tap, tap, tap. Oh, Tori's having a breakdown.
I was like,
no, I get it.
it wasn't even worth talking about because I
Yeah.
just like didn't know what was happening. But woke up like wrong side of the bed, basically. And I just woke up frazzled because I didn't know. Jackson mentioned maybe going to the gym, but then like he went to bed late, I think. And then I was like, oh, he won't go. And then I woke up, he was gone. Ziggy wasn't there. And I was just like frazzled.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just like didn't have my morning planned out. So I think that ruined it for a little bit. And then I literally just like sobbed, like could not stop. It was nice. Like, you know, when you just have a good cry.
And no, was anyone home?
No.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Sitting in the bathroom on the floor, just sobbing. But I think it was just like a few things that I journaled on this morning, but obviously pregnancy hormones and like, I think it's, I don't know, because everyone's like, you know, you're changing, like you're rebirthing yourself and all of that. And I'm not necessarily worried about that or like, don't think that's much of it. I think it was more like little things that Jackson said in the last couple of weeks that kind of, I don't want to say this because like people are going to twist it, but it's not like.
I also feel like people who listen to the podcast are so different to YouTube and followers.
Yeah.
So like.
They get it.
You guys get it. Yeah.
It's not like he degrades me, but like kind of, where it's like, I'm like, oh, I feel so big today. He's like, you're not even big yet. And it's like, well, I am. Because like I'm actually halfway and this is like, I've never had this before. So obviously it's going to feel different. And I think just the male don't understand.
They don't.
And then it's like, obviously we're halfway now. So it's like time to start thinking about prepping for birth and like postpartum, working all the things, how it's going to work. And then sometimes he just thinks, I know he just says it because he loves to like really get under my teeth. But it's like, you know, like you don't understand what newborn's going to be like. I've seen it multiple times. But last night, we hadn't even spoken about how I was feeling. But last night he was like, yep, I want to hire this person ASAP so I can train her up so she's ready by the time you're like close to birth, I can take time off. Oh. And it was the first time he like kind of said, I'll take time off.
I think this is a thing with males, right? They say all of these things I'm not saying out of spite, that's not it at all, but very surface level joking, but they don't understand that females take it to heart, for example. So like, I don't know, I'll wake up sometimes and Kate will be like, oh, sleep in. Me getting up at like 4:30 a.m. and he's just gone to the gym like, oh, sleep in. How was your sleep in? You must be feeling so rested, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, I've literally just been up and doing all of my thing. I just haven't been to the gym at like an hour. And like, that's a joke. But so sometimes to me, it makes me feel like I'm not productive and I haven't done anything for that morning. But it's like not true at all. He doesn't believe that at all.
Completely.
And it's just the way that they say things. I think this is the case for all males. Because I even had a conversation with like my mum the other day and she was like, no, it doesn't stop. And I was like, oh, good.
Cool. So I think it was just like a bit of everything hit me at once. But spent the whole day I was just off. Like I was just flat. Like even Christina was here, Katie came around, Cruz was here, and I was just like, I don't want to talk to him.
Like go away.
Yeah. But woke up feeling much better this morning. Woke up and it was gloomy. And I was like, yes, sunrise walk, can't wait. And then I was like, no, we're still going to the beach. It was still nice. And like had a big journal, got myself ready, like feel good. So just like one of those days. And I just think that's going to be the next probably 12 months.
Yeah, look, I do that and I'm not pregnant. So like, honestly fair.
Yeah. So yeah, had a good cry, feel good about it. And today's a new day.
It is a new day.
And I'm 21 weeks today.
Wow.
We record on Tuesday, which is great because it's like my new week.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So 21 weeks. So slay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this morning I went for a sunrise walk, but I woke up at 5 and Christina was like, are you here? And I was like, no.
Nope.
I said, give me 6 minutes. No, I was there in like 8.
Wow. That's
from the moment I opened my
really
eyelids,
good.
My alarm went off my alarm didn't even go off. I checked my phone at 5:03 and I was standing next to her at 5:10. Yeah.
That's great for you.
Thank you so much. And we have a dog as well. I literally ran downstairs, didn't put him out, and I just knew I was going to come home with like pee and poop. It was fine. And I just grabbed a handful of food, scattered it on the ground and ran out the door. And I was like, I don't even know what I look like right now. And I made it.
Obsessed.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I really just don't have too many updates. It's very rinse and repeat at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I feel like you're probably similar.
Yeah.
cruising in terms of like just doing the daily things,
Yeah.
working, training.
Just life, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
nice.
quite
I
nice.
like that you're training again.
Me too.
Yeah.
Feels good.
That would feel great.
Twice a week and
Stunning.
Pilates, so 3 times a week. And it just feels good.
Love that. Well, my parents came up last week because Kate was away. They wanted to come say hi, meet Boston, all the things. God, thank God. All I
Yeah.
have to say, I needed them up here. Like I said last episode, raising a puppy is like a full-time job, and everyone has said that Staffies are hard, like really hard to raise in comparison to like other dogs. And even my mum was like, I've had multiple dogs. This dog is crazy, but like he's still very well behaved and he can do all the things, but he's just got a bunch of energy that he just doesn't know how to kind of like control yet. So it was so nice having them up, and parents just get it done. Like on Saturday, so we had an engagement party Saturday night, and they were like, oh, we're just gonna like clean up your back yard and garage today. And I was like, you really don't have to do this. And they're like, no, we want to, because we know that you're not going to do it. They know what I'm like. You guys know what I'm like. I'm just not going to do it. And they hustled. I'm talking completely pulled out all of our dead plants. They have bought so many things for like our backyard where our like little pool is, to hang up the hose so it doesn't just sit on the ground. They bought like so many rocks to put over the tan barks. Now it's just rocks, so it means I don't have to clean the pool as often. Thinking of all these things, I went to the pool shop with Dad, and he helped me like taught me how to actually take care of a pool, because we were never taught. Like, I don't know how to do it. So they just like completely reorganized that. You should have seen my garage before. I'm going to wait till it's a complete after, because I got to get rid of the rubbish that they've put to the side. But they fully built a, like, what's it called? A rack in my garage, and like just organized the fuck out of it. But the one thing that happened was I had a bunch of clothes going to Vinnie's. And I told Mum, yeah, you can chuck those away. That's fine. Like, they're going to Vinnie's. Amazing. There was one bag of shoes that are all Kate's. And for some reason, I just like assumed that should be like, oh, they look like good shoes. We're just not going to throw them away. I don't know why I was expecting her to read my mind. Obviously, that's on me. And then we get home and Kate's like, oh, like, where'd you put my bag of shoes? And Mum's like, oh, like in Vinnie's. Like, they're being like donated.
They're gone.
And she was like, oh, you needed those. He was like, yeah, they're my shoes. And we threw out all of his shoes. But to be fair, they're not his good ones. They're like ones that have been in there for a while. He might dabble in grabbing them now and then, but the good ones were already on the shoe rack. So I'm like, they're gone. So sorry about that. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
Excuse for new shoes.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, sorry about that one. But so grateful for them. They honestly, oh my God, it was incredible. They went to Light Years on Friday night too. 5:15 dinner.
It's just like Light Years just do it different.
Yeah, they just hit.
Every time it's good. You can have the same thing every time. It's so good.
Yeah, we actually got a few new things this time. We had duck pancakes, random. So good. Yeah, honestly delicious. And then Saturday night, so Cade was meant to come home on Monday from Japan. Had the time of his life. We have an engagement party on Saturday night, which is like Hattie and Coben, our close friends. And he was just like, look, I'm just going to have to miss it. And they were kind of like, can you move your flight? Can you move your flight? And I'm like, it's Kate, it's an engagement party. Like, we'll go to their wedding. Just like, don't stress about it. And he was like, yeah, I just don't think it's going to be work. It's not worth our money. Anyways, they end up calling him a few days prior. And we're like, okay, we have to be honest with you. We're actually doing a surprise wedding at like the engagement party. And we know that if we do this, you're going to regret not being there. So we're just putting it out there if you do want to change his flight. And he was like, now I'm changing my flight to actually come. So we knew that it was going to be a surprise wedding, but it was like, oh, so beautiful. I still was shocked that it ended up being that way, but just like seeing the emotion on everyone's faces, and her mum didn't know, was so incredible. So that was a really fun night. I can't wait to see the videos. I know. I'm excited to see them too. I haven't had more than one drink since New Year's 2024 on the yacht. And I've had like a glass of wine, a margarita, but not more than one. I had 2 margaritas and I felt it. Like literally, if I had another one, I've been drunk. So I was like, oh my God. And then I had like a sausage roll, gave myself an hour, and then I opened a third. Like, I had more of like a canned one, and then I had 2 sips and I was like, nah, like what am I doing? But I actually I think when you want to drink and it's there, it was a really fun environment, like actually letting your hair down and being like, oh yeah, I want to, rather than feeling pressure to. There was no pressure at all. I actually wanted to have it. And then was able to stop, get up for sunrise next day and go for a walk. I'm like, that's what I want to do. Feel kind of tipsy, feel kind of fun, but then that's it. And call it a day.
And feel good the next day.
That's it, right? That is it. I have 2 more things actually. One, I got my period back.
Yes.
Yes, I knew it was kind of coming and it makes sense. I had like a bit of a breakdown Tuesday night. I was like, why is this coming up? And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I literally think I got it. Oh no, I got it 2 days later. So it only lasted like 2 full days, kind of lingering the third, but at least we know that we're getting it back. It happened as soon as I hit over a certain weight. I hit over that weight and bang, came back. So we're feeling healthy. We're feeling good again. And I really feel like it's kind of like centered me. So we literally said that last episode too. I just need it back. So that's really good. 9 weeks post comp. And yeah, we're feeling healthy in that regard. Then the other thing, this is like kind of random, but not that Kate and I have been struggling with we have been with work-life balance. We own a business together. We're in a relationship together. We live together. Our offices are from home. It very mingles. We're literally in bed 10 p.m. and you start to spice things up. And he's like, oh, did you reply to this? I'm like, no, fuck. And it's just kind of it's a really hard fine line, right? So we've downloaded an app and he actually told me to get it. It's called Paired. And I highly recommend you guys get it. It does cost. So whatever. But I think it's either $40 for the year or $20 per month. So we obviously paid $40 for the year. And it's basically every single day you have a little prompt, a question and a quiz. And he also answers it and you match it up. So let's say, for example, I haven't clicked on today's, but I think yesterday was how do you get over an argument together? So there's 5 questions and it's agree, strongly disagree, neutral, whatever. And you kind of answer them. And then it sees both of you what the answers kind of match. So for example, the very first day we did it, I was a little bit tentative and he went in and actually answered them properly. And it was how do you find your work-life balance at the moment? Of course, that was the first question. And he was very bad. And I was just neutral. And I was okay, good that he actually recognizes that. It's how strongly do you guys currently communicate? And he was not great. We're kind of just we'll say what we think and just leave it at that. And I was neutral, kind of on the good side. And I was wow, he's being really honest with these. But it's really good because you also get to recognize how they are actually feeling about things. And there was another question and it said, it was more so directed at me, how what would you appreciate your partner say to you once you have cleaned up the house? What is your love language with that? Is it buying flowers? Is it giving you a gift? Is it hugging you? And I said, all I want is saying thank you for doing XYZ. The next day I come in, I didn't say anything. All he goes, thank you for unpacking my clothes. And I was this is a great game because
and it makes him more aware.
More aware. Exactly. And I struggle to be can you please do this for me? I'm can you please read my mind? That's what I want you to do. So highly recommend getting it. It's really, really good to see what they're thinking, especially if your partner struggles with communication or opening up. It's great.
Interesting.
Yeah. Highly recommend getting it. Yeah.
Let's have a play around. Okay. 2 things from us. Firstly, Sydney Community Walk in March. So we are Tuesday, the 3rd of March, we'll be in Sydney and we are hosting a community walk finally.
Yeah.
Had a few DMs of what's happening, what's going on. So the plan is to meet at Common Supply in Bondi at 6 a.m. And I'm thinking a 6 a.m. meet for a 6:30 walk start.
Okay.
Because 6:30 will be sunrise.
Yeah.
We can start walking and we'll walk towards Bronte Beach. Probably do a 5K walk. I feel that's what we usually do. Coffees, juices, we'll do all the things and then we'll go for a walk and just really excited to mingle with the Sydney community.
Yeah, I know.
I feel one of our good friends, Katie, will come. Erin hopefully will come. So I've told the girls to put it on their stories as well so we can just get as many of you down so you can just really meet up. Yeah. And I just think Sydney is so big that it is hard to drive an hour and a half to then catch up with someone. So hopefully it can kind of bring the wider Sydney in and everyone can kind of meet some new people. So very, very excited about that. Secondly, our wellness retreat is full steam ahead.
It's coming up next month.
Crazy.
Next month. So
and I cannot wait.
I'm actually really excited
Me
for
too.
it. So excited. It's from March 20th to the 22nd. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have 3 spots left.
Yep.
So if you guys want to get in, DM us and we'll get back to you. We'll send you the application form, fill it out, and then basically lock in your spot. And you'd want to do it sooner than later because we actually haven't really mentioned it on the podcast yet because we've just been doing it all behind the scenes. So get in because we actually increased our capacity as well because so many of you wanted to come on.
Yeah.
So.
And if you've applied and you haven't heard from us and you still really, really want to come, please send another DM and we'll go over your application again and have a chat with you. But we've been very particular with who we wanted to bring in. We want to do more of these. We want to do a Bali retreat. We want to do all the things. So we're really just making sure this one kicks off amazingly.
Just to give you a little bit of insight into what we are actually doing, because I feel like a lot of people are like, well, what's involved? So like we're going out for dinner one night. We're doing our like connection cards another night. We're doing a games night, a movie night, a workout, recovery, probably like a walk, a sunrise swim, all catered for food-wise. We have like a cook on hand.
We do. We have a caterer.
Gifting, like guys, we have it sorted for you.
Yeah. And then very much focusing on, of course, you guys meeting like-minded people, being able to connect with not only people in your state, but obviously around Australia. So lots of workshops surrounding that, but also mindset, fitness, maybe a bit of nutrition, and just really giving you as much value as we can, being in that like tight space and like spending the 2.5, 3 days with us. It is in Byron, so everything is all inclusive besides your flights.
Yes.
So obviously if you're coming from out of state, you will have to cover your flights, but everything else is included, literally including the going out for dinner.
Yeah. We're going to Light Years.
Yes.
We're saying
booked.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, is that a surprise?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But we're going to Light Years.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
I've already been like DMing them, like, hey, let's go.
Yeah.
So super stoked. So if you want to get in, DM us and we'll get you in there.
Yeah.
Stunning. Okay. The moment I've been waiting for. Guys, I'm freaking sweating. This pregnancy.
No, it's so, dude, the aircon was on here. I'm like, it's freezing. Turn it off.
How hot is it?
Up so fast.
It's because of this light. I know. And I feel like for our first episode, we had the fan on, which was fine. Yeah. But I just forgot if it's fine or not. Okay. So we'll just drip and sweat for you guys. But today's episode was very much inspired by 2 podcasts that I listened to. One being Alex Cooper, Call Her Daddy, and the second being a Grace Beverly podcast. Talking about similar things, but different ends of the spectrum. Yeah. So very much becoming that girl, but on your own terms. Yeah. And what is realistic for you. So basically the podcast that I listened to from Alex's perspective, this is all in terms of routines and making you feel good day to day. Whoa, voice break. Day to day, mornings, all the things. Alex was very much on the side of do whatever the fuck you want and do what makes you feel good. Is that sleeping until 7, going for a 10K run and then coming home having breakfast? Cool. Is that sleeping until 10 and then having your brekkie and going to work? Like literally start to make your routines that form you and your life. And if it doesn't fit the schedule, you kind of adapt and all the things. Whereas Grace Beverly's was very much plan everything. Like I think I spoke about this when I said that my discipline drop last week or the other week was scheduling and time blocking. Grace Beverly is like planning her commute to work, how long that takes, her lunch break, literally every single little detail. And there, I would say that's giving type A, type B.
I know what's interesting there is they're both extremely successful in their own right? So it's saying that you can actually just do whatever's going to feel best for you. Very similar with us. You're like Grace Beverly. I'm like Alex Cooper. I'm like, I have my routine, but I can't just do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. It's like, oh no, from like 6 a.m. to 6:15, I'm like making sure I'm journaling and then doing this. And it's just doing exactly like Tori said, what works for you. Because I've tried that. And if I don't do that, it freaks me the fuck out. Because I'm like, oh, I'm 5 minutes late, game over.
Overwhelming. Yeah. So we wanted to dive into it and I feel like we have a really good episode and we have different point of views. Yeah. So very much being that girl you want to be, not the TikTok version. And I think this is like the perfect time of year to talk about it because we've come into Feb and it's like that in the start of the year hype has worn down. Everyone's trying to really actually figure out their routines. Your New Year's resolutions have potentially worn off and you either feel like you failed and you need to start again, or you've just let yourself settle into the year and now you're like, okay, let's find the groove. Yeah. So for me personally, and I thought of this example, think of our friend Soph Jane Miller. You would have just heard from her on the Skin series. She is very much like sleep is her priority.
Yes.
She will not come on a sunrise walk with us.
No.
And none of us care. Like that is
She's
so
literally
fun.
like, what time are you guys going? We're like 5. She's like, enjoy.
Yeah.
I won't be there.
Yeah. Her sleep score is very important to her, and she still has a very wholesome, beautiful morning routine, but it's not at 5:15 with us, and that is so fine. Whereas then us, it's like getting up for sunrise. Christina's, going straight to the gym, or the boys are at the gym before sunrise. Like everyone's gonna have their different little unique techniques.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought you were going with that. The other thing that I find with like aesthetic TikTok, right? It's just not realistic.
No.
A lot of the time, it's for social media. And if there's anything we preface on this podcast, it's saying that social media is a highlight reel. Now, we try our best to share as much as we can, the highs and the lows, but majority of the time, it is a highlight reel. You shared you bawling your eyes out on the ground the other day, right? Or like yesterday.
Yep.
But you didn't really share the rest of your day. No one knows what that looks like. Like I thought you pulled it together for the rest of the day and I'm your best friend. So I'm like, oh no, she actually still struggled the rest of the day. Like we actually don't know what other people's lives are like, and social media just makes it look incredible all of the time. And it's even looking at these like incredible founders, right? Like I'm very much in my like business era looking up to people at the moment, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're like private jets, they're doing like fashion fittings at this event, they're doing this, how do they have time for everything? And I'm like, they don't. It just like it looks like that from the outside, but you don't see them hustling to like midnight on the plane, trying to do it, lack of sleep, can't see their kid for the 2 weeks in a row because they're traveling, haven't been a good partner because they've just like dropped everything on their husband. Like you don't see all of that. All you see is their like aesthetic, I guess, lifestyle on social media. And it does tie it back to kind of your routine, right? Like us getting up at, I don't know, 5 a.m. It can look, obviously it is aesthetic. Like we're going to the beach. It's amazing. But you also probably don't see that I'm exhausted sometimes throughout the rest of the day. I'm not as productive because I've gotten up at that hour, or like I look like an absolute wreck in that morning. I'm not like put together. Like some mornings I might take a cute outfit pic on the beach, but that's because I know I'm going to take a cute outfit at the beach. This morning I looked like fucking Hagrid. Like, you know what I mean? So we just always use social media as a highlight reel and really bring it back to what's going to work for you.
Yeah. And obviously we know discipline is a huge part of your routines. And I really want to touch on this because one of our best friends, Riley, a snippet came up on a podcast that she did yesterday. And as I was writing notes, this really just sparked something with me. And I know I want you to go into like the discipline side, but then I had a different view after I heard Riley speak about this. And it's devotion over discipline. So I feel like a lot of females now are really trying to get into their feminine more and more so, and especially us being business owners of 2 businesses and then having males partners that are just so incredibly masculine and like this, go, 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 go. It's like we try to keep up with them, but then we burn out.
Yeah.
So it's like really trying to bring that femininity back into like our routines and things like that. And what I loved about changing this frame, and it's like devotion can still mean discipline, but I think devotion sounds firstly more feminine and also more inviting, instead of being like, oh, I have to do this because I have to be disciplined. It's like, I'm going to devote myself to going on a morning walk because that's going to make me feel good.
Yeah.
Not like I have to go on a morning walk, otherwise I'm not disciplined.
Yeah.
And trying to like reframe it. And I think sometimes that's all it takes for someone to commit to a routine is like that switch of mind frame where it's like, I'm devoting this walk or whatever to myself, or I'm going to have a bath, or I'm going to go to the gym because I know that's going to make me feel good, and that's devoting time to myself. And I think it just sounds, for me anyway, it sounds more inviting.
Well, that's what I always say to my clients. I'm like, don't do something if you don't want to do it because you're not going to be consistent. That's even the result of like, if you don't want to do a deficit, but you think you have to lose weight, don't even try because you're going to last 3 days. Just try implementing a few habits and we can focus on that later on. Like you have to enjoy what you are doing. And of course, it's not going to be fun 24/7. But if you are devoted to making change in your life and to feeling like a better human and to bettering yourself, you will probably find that you are way more able to actually stick to it than implementing a hard force discipline.
I like to note that you had here is like, it isn't about doing more, it's about quitting less. And it's so true because we try and stack these routines up to this 10-step morning routine with our red light and our vibrating machine and our gua sharing and our trigger pointing, and like we try and stack up all these things because that's what the aesthetic girl on TikTok's doing. Yeah. So it's so easy to see that and then see them and kind of compare that. But really, if it's like, if you just simplify it, you end up quitting less because it's easier for you to complete and you feel better because you're not stressed and overwhelmed.
Exactly. And then you're just going to actually get the results in the long run.
Yeah.
I think as well, sometimes we romanticize discipline. We romanticize getting up at 5 a.m., working to 3 a.m., actually like putting yourself into the ground. And for some reason through today's society, that hustle culture is really like, I don't know, looked up to, but in reality, they're probably like the least happy people. Now, I'm talking like there's going to be outliers, right? You have some crazy business people who absolutely love that. I'm going to give an example. Alex Hermosi was on like Toby Robbins' podcast. Tony Robbins' podcast. And he kind of, I think there was a lot of backlash from it because Tony was basically saying to Alex, like, you've kind of missed the point of everything. You're working so much that you've missed the family time. You've missed X, Y, and Z. But then everyone was like, okay, well, I don't want to actually copy Alex anymore because he's not who I look up to and he's not who I want to be. End of the day, yes, he's recognized, and he kind of came out about this, and so it's other people, but he's recognized that, yes, maybe he has missed out on those things, but he still enjoys what he's doing, and he loves working hard, and he loves getting up at crazy hours to work. But that doesn't mean you have to as well. Because for me, working past like 9 p.m., that's not enjoyable for me. Some people love doing that. So again, it's not romanticizing discipline in a way of like you have to work 24/7, you have to get up at this time and have an hour of stairs done before 7 a.m. It's actually just doing small things consistently. That's what discipline is. So for me, it's getting 10,000 steps every day consistently, whether I do that before 7 a.m. or I'm getting my last 300 at 9 p.m. That's my type of discipline. It's just doing it consistently. And like you said before, it's just about not quitting when it's not fun.
Yeah.
So we always tend to stop things when it stops being enjoyable, stops being easy. That's when discipline comes in. Not getting up at 5 a.m. just for the sake of it. It's actually still making sure you get your last 200 steps at 7 p.m. doing some laps around the house.
And I think to your first point of really normalizing the grind and the hustle, I think one aspect it's amazing because this generation is very much entrepreneurial and like everyone's striving for their own success, which I think is so awesome. And also it's the industry that we're in. So we see a lot more of it. But again, you don't have to do it because everyone else is doing it. And I think it's like that's when kind of your values and morals come into it because it's like, what's most important to me? Whereas for me in the last, let's say 6 or so months, I've really come into like, for me, like family and friends, like is the most important thing that I never want to regret missing out on. And of course, I'm going to grind and I'm going to do the things to hopefully get the success that I want. But if I don't quite get where I want, but I have a healthy, beautiful, happy family friendship group that are thriving, that's going to make me more happy at the end of the day. And even Jackson last night, he got an hour and a half of sleep because he worked until God knows what time, then got up at I think 3:30 or something to go to a shoot. But he still gave us an hour to play sequence, like 5 rounds of sequence after dinner. Because I was like, I was just going to let him work. And he's like, no, like, let's play. This is our time. And then I'll go to bed and he'll go work. But it's like at the moment, that's our only time really because he's on the crunch kind of preparing for birth and things like that. So it is just like navigating that season, but it's really important you understand your values and morals to align with your actions and your routines.
I was listening to a podcast the other day and I think he was not the founder, but CEO was someone very high up in Shopify. And he was basically saying, he was like, I have a lot of people I look up to, but I'm not looking up to one specific person and getting all of my value from them. For example, he was like, my business investor mentor. So he was like someone who I trust so deeply in terms of where to allocate my money, how to do finances and things like that. He's been incredible for the money side of things, but God knows would I ever look up to him in terms of like marriage. He's on his 3rd divorce. He doesn't really know how to raise his kids properly. And then same as someone else, they may have like, I don't know, they're earning $1 million per day or per week, but they're so incredibly unhealthy because they can't look after the nutrition. I'm not looking up to them. He's like, I take bits and pieces from everyone and then implement it into my own life because that's what's going to work best for me. And I think that this is really valuable for you guys as well. It's like, okay, cool. You guys could look up to us and what do we do? But everything we do is not going to align with your life because maybe you have to be at work at 5 a.m. But maybe, I don't know.
You don't want to be pregnant at 26.
I don't. You know
like
what
it's
I mean?
literally, I love that point because you can look up to one person but not see the whole picture or see the whole picture and go, I don't want that, but I want that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good point.
Yeah. I think
we're just like on a roll today.
There we are. So stop copying routines from people with a different life to you, right? Like exactly what I just said. But this founder over here, you're an entrepreneur. You just started your business. You really want to try to build it from the ground up. It's just you yourself. You're comparing your routine to Sally over here, who's been in the industry for 10 years. She has a personal assistant. She has executive assistant. She has a team under her. Your routine is going to look different to them. Same as eventually, my routine is going to look different to yours by the end of this year. You're going to have a kid and I'm not. Like, it's a completely different morning routine, night routine, day routine. It's just doing what you can there. Same as different goals, lifestyle, bodies, like mindset, season of life. Like, you're going to have a different routine to someone else and even your closest friend. So stop comparing that to theirs.
Something that's really important is a lot of us think that more structure equals more success when it doesn't. So it's like you can think that having this 25-step morning routine is going to give you more success. It's probably just going to give you more stress. So really look at your routines or your ideal routines that you're trying to work towards. It's like, is this actually causing you more stress, or is it setting you up for success and it's bringing you calmness? Because at the end of the day, to operate into like towards getting success, you need to be at a calm nervous system. We know that, especially for females.
Yeah.
We know that. So it's like you really need to take care of that and nurture that when you're thinking about setting up routines, whether that's morning, nights, during the days, whatever it is, to get yourself to success. Because again, we can see these 10-step routines and go, that's what I have to do in order to make $1 million this year. When it's like, no, you could actually do a 2-step routine and still make $1 million.
Exactly.
Because that's what works for you.
And I'm so on my podcast game at the moment.
I love it.
I should basically just say this is all from me, but it's not. So Jeff Bezos, was saying, not he, but it's like someone was talking about him. And a lot of entrepreneurs, you look up to them, they get up at 5 a.m. They're at the gym, they're hustling. We need so many hours in the day. That's the majority of the population, to be honest with you. He starts work at 10 a.m. He says, because a question like was allocated to him and was basically like, what's your morning routine looking like? Expecting him to say ice bath, cold plunge, sauna, all these things. He's like, kind of like double around in the morning. I kind of get a coffee, spend time with like my family, and then I'll start work by 10. He is one of the most successful men in the world, and he
really
just
clean.
does whatever he wants in the morning.
Yeah.
So remember, you don't actually have to have it just to be successful, but then you have other people who have to work 80 hours a week and they actually have to do that. You have other people who can work 40 hours a week because they're a lot more efficient with their time. And honestly, that's going to be genetics at the end of the day, is how fast you can work, if you can multitask all the things. Personally, not me. Like, I'm not a multitasker. Sometimes I have to work. I'm not like a crazy entrepreneur in that aspect, but like I have to work a little bit longer days or longer time because I'm just not very good at retaining information, and that's just what it is. You have other people who can look at something, remember, action it straight away, and it's just kind of really going into what is going to work best for you.
And I think on that, it's really like, no. I had a you thing where it just escaped my mind. What did you say at the start? Mo, baby brain is cooked at the moment.
Not doing anything in the morning until he starts work.
Yeah, it's really escaped, and it was not on my notes because it was a good point. Anyway.
Well, I do have something in terms of talking about minimum standards versus maximum standards. And this is something that I'm really trying to implement with all of my clients at the moment, because I think it's very important to know that your routine yourself can't look the same every single week. We are extremely busy humans. So something that I really like to implement is the difference between minimum standards and maximum standards. Now, maximum standard within your life and your routine is what you can do when your week and your day is like easy. There's nothing crazy happening. You're not back to back. You're not in a mid-house move or traveling or all of those things. If you had a dream routine, what would that look like? And for that, a lot of us, that is like journaling in the morning, reading, going to the gym, tracking all of our food, meal prepping, grocery shopping, all the things, right? That's your maximum standards when your week is perfect. Now, this is still like you have to be able to do it. It's not like what you dream and wish it could look like. It's like, what can I actually do when my week is a lot easier? Minimum standards is when life is busy. You're moving house. You've just started a new job. You'll have to look after your friend's dog that week. Anything can happen. It's a crazy week, but what are the minimum standards that you still have to adhere to? And I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying this, but one of my clients, Mads, I told this to her the other day, and I was like, send me through your minimum standards for a crazy week, because she owns a dance studio and she's always busy. And she was like, okay, yeah, I know. And she was like, okay, well, I'll still go to the gym 3 times a week, hit 10,000 steps and drink 3 liters of water and track my calories and protein. I was like, no, too much. Like, that's you on like a pretty good week. Like, strip it way back. I said, you're going to the gym twice per week. That's it. Twice per week gym. You're only going to track your protein, or like make sure you have 3 sorry, you're not tracking your food at all. You're making sure you have 3 main meals of protein in each meal and you're getting 8,000 steps. That is it. We're not focusing on tracking your food, not doing this. Like, we have to be able to actually adhere to it, because if you have a crazy week, would you be able to do those things? Probably not. So really stripping it back as much as you can to a minimum standard, because by the end of the week, if you actually tick that off, you're going to feel so much better in yourself.
And if she surpasses that, great.
Exactly.
But she set the bare minimum of like, okay, this is my standard on a really busy week.
Yeah.
And if I get more, phenomenal, which she probably would if I'm sure she's like an overachiever and she would do all the things. But it's like, set those realistic goals. And I love that, because I think that's probably something really important that I want to have through postpartum or even now through pregnancy. It's like, what's my minimum standard? Because my days are completely different. And it's like, get outside for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I put like yesterday, I didn't do it. And the whole day I just knew it would make me feel better, but I just couldn't be fucked.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it. So it's just like having those little things. And like you said, the minimum standard is the minimum. It's not, again, a 10-step thing.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I remembered my point from before.
Okay.
Is you also need to understand with these routines, it needs to be adaptable and changeable to your routines, because you might have just started a business, you're in your first year, that's probably going to be a grind. Like, your first year of business is genuinely working really hard, doing all the things that you can to see the success in your business and get it off the ground. Then your second year, it might be a little bit more calmer and you can adjust and have a bigger routine or have more time for yourself. So it's like, also understand that January this year to December might be completely different routines. Also, the seasons change, so your routine will be different again. I'm so excited for winter. I mean, I say this now, but like, I'm going to be quite heavily pregnant, so we'll see. But those times in winter where it's like the sunrise is later, so you can still get up 5:30. It's dark. You can do your have a tea, read a book.
I love working when it's dark.
Oh yeah, no, like even that. But I'm like, have a
favorite.
slow morning before you leave the house instead of rushing out for sunrise, because it's at 4:45.
Crazy.
So I'm really excited for that. We'll see if it happens, but it's like just being able to adjust your routines with the season of life that you're in.
I do love that.
A really good point here, which I guess is just off the back of what we said, is 3 main categories.
Yeah.
Mindset, movement, nutrition.
Yeah.
I think if we can, quote unquote, master those, but have them, I think having something of those 3 in your minimum standard is going to get you moving.
For example, I'm going to say what my minimum standards for like those 3 are is movement, walking.
Yeah.
If I can't get to the gym, don't worry, I'm still going for a walk.
Yeah.
Nutrition, eating 3 main meals per day. Majority of the time, I always do that. Like, I'm very good with my nutrition, but that's my minimum standard. And then for my mind, I really thought about a minimum standard for my mind.
I feel like for you at the moment would be podcasting.
Yeah.
Like, it's like learning.
In a drive. Like when
education.
I'm driving, it will be like a podcast on. Yeah. That is my minimum standard. Yeah.
Yeah. I think mine would be saying walking and just like nourishing meals, like making sure, especially at this stage of life right now, whereas like last year it was so easy because I naturally eat very healthy and I love to. Whereas now it's like, oh, it's easy to just have 2-minute noodles.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, we need to fuel. Now that I'm eating more, it's like we're making smart choices.
Yeah.
And then for my mind, it would be like a journal or a podcast for education, or at the moment it's like high frequency music.
Wow.
Like when you got here, did you hear the music playing? And it
that.
just, even Christina walked in, she's like, I just feel so calm. And I'm like, that is just where I'm at the moment.
Yeah. No,
so I think again, it's like those 3 are like the overall pillars to our health, right? So if you can have at least one thing to meet those minimum standards in that, and then of course your maximum standards can be 3 under that, whatever it is. But it's like, take 5 minutes to just think about what yours are, and are you meeting them on a week-to-week basis?
We also have a few things that like can honestly change your life when it does come to your routine. Like we said, like movement, nutrition, and mindset. Like if you can, like Tori said, nail those, it will literally change your life. But we can't forget about like boundaries, relationships, and actually having momentum with those things, because we've talked about like the basics when it comes to your routine, but how about the basics? So your routine when it comes to your relationship. Literally, like I said at the start of this podcast, like Kate and I are very much in our like work season at the moment, and your relationship can get forgotten. Now, it's not always a bad thing, but you do have to make sure that in your weekly routine, there is time for you. And what does that look like? And I know every single night that I cook dinner, we eat on the couch, which I know that a lot of people like say don't eat on the couch, but
we eat on the couch too.
And we watch Suits.
Yeah.
And we only have a season left. And I'm like, what are we going to do after this?
You need to find something else.
I know, but like that's our time for our relationship. Now, is that the best quality time? No. But again, that's my minimum standards at the moment, is just at least being in each other's presence without talking about work, without being on our phones. That is our minimum standards. Whereas some people have a date night every week or every fortnight. That's a part
And
of their
that's the
routine.
goal eventually, right?
That is the goal, yeah.
But at the moment, it's probably like, for the both of us, like non-existent.
Yeah.
But I have said to Jackson once a month,
Yeah.
we go out for date night.
Yeah.
But ours is very much the same. We've been either watching a show. Lately, it's been playing Monopoly Deal or Sequence.
That's fun. We need to play board games again, Kate and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
We
like that'd be really
only
fun.
recently like got back to it like 2 weeks
I
ago.
think the problem is we eat dinner really late.
Mm.
So it's like we can't eat dinner while watching our show. And then I'm like, oh, that'd be great after dinner to play cards. But
Yeah.
it's like 8:30. And I'm like,
yeah.
oh.
We've been eating dinner like 5:36.
I'm having my afternoon snack.
Yeah.
It's not a great idea.
Slay.
The other things as well is like your boundaries with your routine. Like if you know that every single morning you have to go for a walk because that's what makes you feel really good, and you, let's say you train every afternoon and I don't know, some things move forward and you don't have to do it. You can say no. Like you can say no to things if they don't fit into your routine. Now, of course, that's not always like reality, but you do have to put boundaries in place with yourself. Example, if you're getting up at 5 a.m., you have to put a boundary with yourself in your nightly routine to get off your phone by 9 p.m. So then you can actually get good quality sleep. So that is also going to be a part of your routine.
That's a boundary I would like to be really much better at, is getting off my phone at night. I want to buy a brick. I want to brick it at night.
Christina and I were talking about this morning because I was like, we were saying which one of our friends has a brick, and I was like, oh, Soph, obviously. And then I was like, she was like, oh, do you want a brick? And I was like, fuck no, do I want a brick? If you don't know what a brick is, basically you tap your phone on it and it blocks all of your apps.
Yeah.
And the only way for you to unblock it is if you brick yourself again and you tap it on
and
this
you
thing.
like you put the brick in another room, but if you leave the house, you can't do it until you get back.
Yes. I do not want one of those.
Yeah.
So this app.
Yeah.
But I was like, no way Tori would want one of those, but do you?
Yeah, I would like to dabble in it.
Wow.
See how long it lasts,
Okay.
but I would like to have the option.
I said I would rather Opal, but I don't want it to block my apps. I don't want that at all. I just wanted to ask the question, do you actually want to go on it?
And that's just having a time restriction.
Yes, that's all I want, is to be like, so when I'm not just tapping, I'm like, oh, okay, no, I don't need to go on it right now.
I want to do this week is like refresh my homepage and like move the apps around, because that always does help.
Yes.
It's like I just go up, I know where Instagram is, I click it, so we can have a little refresh.
Yes.
Another thing is, what's the difference between your realistic routine and your ideal routine? I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but it's like, do you have this routine in your head that's like your quote unquote ideal routine because you're seeing Sofa Dofa do it? But is that really ideal for you? Or does it just look good because of what she's achieving from that, and maybe not whatever else you're seeing? But again, bringing it back to what's realistic for you. And I think if you can go back to this start of this episode, take all those notes, especially like the maximum minimum standards, and really think about your values and morals, what's important to you, you can then set the right routine that's good for you. And it's going to be trial and error as well. Christina at the moment, she very much is like, I am an early gym girl person, but she's dabbling in like, maybe I'll go midday or like mid-morning, and just like trying to see if that can work and how she can play with that. And then Cade, for example, went through that massive season and Jackson, he's still in it, of like it was just work.
Yeah.
Like no gym was happening whatsoever. It was maybe once a week they would rock up and train, and then that was it. Whereas Cade's like, I'm not going to gym unless it's at 3:30 a.m, which is fucking wild, and we're not joining him. But it's the only way
won't do it otherwise.
Yeah, he won't do it otherwise. And I get that, because it's like when you're in that grind season, you just, once you're locked in, you're locked in.
It's just because meetings come up all the time for him at the moment. And so he's like, oh, well, can't gym now.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, I will move a meeting to the gym. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, that's not happening.
And like where I'm not getting any quality sessions done at 3:30.
No.
So
no.
each to their own. But again, that's what's working for him. So it's working for Christina, and we're doing what works
Tell
for
you
us.
what else about that too. If you live in Melbourne, right, it's winter, and you're trying to get up at like 5 a.m. because you see people in Queensland do it. It's not realistic. It's freaking cold. You're not walking with fog literally covering your eyes in front of you.
Or you have to sit in your car for 20 minutes to like defrost the screen.
Right? Like, come on, let's be so for real there.
Yeah.
So like maybe you get a walking pad, you walk inside and you read your book. Like
that was me in Melbourne. I was like, I'm not walking at 5 or 6 a.m. I'm sleeping until 7, because then the sun rises. It's a tad warmer because the sun's up maybe.
Yeah.
And then I'm going for my walk.
Yeah.
So it's like you adjust with the season that you're in.
Yeah.
Okay. That girl isn't perfect mornings, color-coded planners, and never missing a workout. That girl is adaptable, self-trusting, and consistent even when messy. And I think just even the word adaptable. I'm like, if you can have an adaptable routine, you're going to see far more success.
Again, it's not about having like a structured routine in a way from this hour to this hour, this hour to this hour. It's about having habits that stack on each other so you can move those habits and be adaptable with it. So whether I'm in freaking, I don't know, Thailand, Europe, Texas, I'm always eating whole foods. And like majority of the time, again, 80-20 balance. I'm always getting in my steps and I'm always moving my body, right? That is like what I do wherever because I'm adaptable with it. I'm not having to be so structured 24/7. If you can't be adaptable, you're not going to be consistent.
Period. Put that on a t-shirt. Okay, 2 questions for us.
I'm ready.
What routine did you try that didn't work and why?
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Going to the gym first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Now I will do it now and then. Do not get me wrong. I think I'm actually
Yeah,
gonna,
you have actually done it a few times.
I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow before Pilates.
Okay.
But that's instead of walking.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I will go to the gym for like when I say first thing in the morning, I'm talking before my morning walk. So I'm talking I'm waking up and going straight to the gym. I don't really do that. I will walk then gym, even though it's still like it's 6, but at least it's I do something beforehand. I just don't really have a great session and then I won't really get my steps for the day either. Like
Yep.
I just like going walk, gym or walk, breakfast, work, gym. Just like that's what works for me. These 5 a.m.s don't. But there is a time and a place, again, being adaptable for your lifestyle. Tomorrow, busy day. We're going to Pilates with the girls, but I'm like, oh, I need to train. I don't want to do it after. Just do it before.
Yep.
Yep.
Fair enough. I would say mine was like trying that 15-step routine of like, and I've lately had a nice routine that I've been loving, but I'll talk about what didn't work. It was not that I did all of this, but it's like having to gua sha, do the points, do the red light therapy, do the journal, have the tea, like just, and again, that was very much when I probably started that very wellness, like holistic, trying to heal my skin, do all the things, do a chia seed mask and like try and fit as much possible things in my day or routine as possible. And then now realizing, like I said earlier, it was causing way much more stress. My skin just kept breaking out because I was so stressed that I had to tick all these things off because it healed Indy Clinton's skin or Sarah's.
Yeah.
Like it just like had to, you have to go through it. You
I
do.
know what? I was never one of those people to do a 10-step morning routine. Never.
Yeah.
Never want to be either.
Yeah, it definitely was. Now I've had my routine lately of getting up, making the bed, washing my face, putting my little eye masks on and doing my skincare, getting ready, going for the walk. Like that just like has been nice, feels good. And then it's like I'm out of the house, I'm doing that. And then I come back this morning, I had my tea, I journaled and like that just felt good. That's not every day, but I'm trying to put more emphasis on those things to really slow down and like romanticize the slow season that I'm currently embracing.
Yeah.
Second question, what habit looked too simple but ended up changing everything?
Ooh.
Mine is super surface level, but I swear, and I've talked about this so many times and everyone's going to roll their eyes, it was like the beginning of everything, making your bed every day. Because it just, like I think about it, I'm like, it's fucking pathetic. But I'm like, when you do it every single day, it becomes a non-negotiable. So then it's like, if you can make that little habit, if that little habit can become easy, what other things can become easy that are bigger or harder for you to do?
I have 3. So I'm trying to like, I know
you can say all 3.
Okay, I'm going to say all 3. Number 1 is get ready for the day. If you're working from home and you have like your hair undone, no makeup on, and you like are in your pajamas and you trackies, you just feel shit for the rest of the day. And especially for myself, going to the gym or for a walk in the morning, yes, I was changed into active wear, but sometimes I'm like not feeling like I'm put together in other parts, like not doing my skincare and things like that. That truly changed my productiveness for the rest of the day. Number 1, which is pretty simple.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Just like got myself ready, slicked my hair back, cute outfit.
It's not that hard, right?
Yeah, no,
simple. Number 2, write down what you have to do for the day. Like, again, so simple. What do I have to do? These 5 things, cool. If you don't do that, it just builds up in your head so much. Number 3, eat a good breakfast. Please, if you start your day strong, that is going to have momentum into the rest of your day. If you skip breakfast, have something that you don't really feel like is going to be good for you, that again is going to flow into the rest of the day. So those are my 3 like things. If you want to change the trajectory of your morning routine and the rest of your day, get ready.
Wait, make your bed.
Make your bed. Make your bed, get ready, write a to-do list, and eat a good breakfast.
Oh, that just is.
Sums it up nicely.
Yeah. It does.
It does.
Perfect. So if this episode hits hard, share it with someone else, but also save it and come back to it in a couple months' time when it's going into winter or you're going into summer overseas and you're needing to like rejig things. This is where you're going to come back to.
Yes.
Okay. Discipline drop.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't know what yours is.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Mine is red lights in your home. I can't tell you. Like one of our good friends, Riley, is very much dim lights all the time. Like there is no overheads. And I am in that. I want to change every light bulb in my house to be a red light. I'm just like, it makes everything feel calm, especially at nighttime. So these like little neon lights behind us in the podcast, I've been putting them in our room and then I make it red and going into my room with my tea. And then I'm just like,
that is so calming.
Feel calm.
Well, technically, I actually have that in my house because we have LED lights around our TV, in our bathroom.
Even the kitchen where you have the LED, I'm going to get some of those.
Great, love it. The problem is I'm not connected to it. I need to be, okay, just is. So when he went to Japan, the red lights got left on, but it's on a timer. So we have it on a timer. So every night at 4 or 5 p.m. and it turns off at 5 a.m., which is great. So it's very much the night. But when he left, it would come on every single night, but it was bright red. And my sister was sleeping down there. She's like, how do I turn these lights off? I'm like, you don't. But I'm like at the PowerPoint switch.
Yeah.
But we have those and it's great.
It is.
So good. My discipline drop is not going on Instagram until I've finished my morning walk.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, everyone always says, don't go on your phone in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Personally, for me, I'm checking my notifications. I'm checking if I have a message from my friend. Christine texted me this morning. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing that. Like, I'm not that.
I'm the same. Like,
extreme.
I'm. You guys know if you've listened for a while that I'm like no phone first hour in the morning. That's like I'm checking a text or a missed phone call. Totally fine. I won't go on any apps.
Yes, I think
I'll go on Pinterest because I love Pinterest, and that just like makes me inspired.
Yes, I think saying no Instagram specifically, I think that has really
or TikTok.
helped. Yes. I never.
No, neither. It's like at nighttime.
I'm like, I have got to be bored type vibe.
Yeah.
And at night, it's like kind of similar, but the last thing I have to do is not be on my phone. So it might be brushing my teeth. It might be reading my book. It might be, I don't know, talking to Kate for 5 minutes. It might be even like when I say not being on my phone, I might read 2 pages of my book. The very last thing before I shut my eyes
it's not
cannot
locking your phone.
be on locking my phone and putting it down. That has to be done first. Even if it's 30 seconds, I'm doing something else. But like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that just helps my nervous system. And it's the small steps that make a big difference. Like, I'm not going to go out and be like 30 minutes before bed, no phone. No, I'm talking like 2 minutes before I go to sleep, no phone.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to challenge all of you listening to have the first hour of your day, no Instagram, no TikTok.
Yeah.
I think you will really probably struggle, to be honest, but you'll see the significant difference with your mood, your brain, and everything else that comes with it.
And even just productiveness for the rest of the day because your dopamine now isn't actually through your phone. It's through other things.
Yeah, like sunlight or your tea or your journal or the gym or cuddles with your partner, whatever it is, it's not what everyone else in the world is doing.
Exactly.
So enjoy and let us know how you go.
Well, what a great episode, Tori Story.
We are dripping in sweat.
I'm so hot, but thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. We hope you all had a beautiful Valentine's Day, Galentine's Day, whatever that may look like for you, or even just like loving yourself. You know?
Period.
Enjoying the weekend.
And I feel like this episode is all of that. If you can integrate all of this, you can really just love yourself a little bit extra.
Like we said,